Happy Halloween! Stick around. Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome. I am Random Ross, and as it is Halloween and 'tis the season, I thought I would, well, as Halloween is its 40th year and we have had a new sequel out, I thought, why not, do a ranking of all the Halloween films that have been made. I've even got my Michael Myers serial killer t-shirt on to mark the occasion. So, yes, this is a ranking of all 11 films within the Halloween franchise. So this will include Halloween 3, the Rob Zombie remakes, and the new film as well. And before we get started, all this is my personal opinion. No one has to agree with it. Okay, and if you have your own opinion, let me know down in the comments below. So, without any further delay, let's do this. The Halloween franchise ranked. So, coming in at number 11, we have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, 2009. Yeah, this was not a brilliant sequel. I mean, yeah, this one, it just felt like an original Rob Zombie film with Halloween characters in it. The only thing that I find was truer to the original Halloween 2 was the opening scene where Michael's chasing around hospital. But then, I just didn't get it. What was with the white horse and his mother, I mean, to me that just looked like an excuse so Rob Zombie can get his wife back in it after she killed us in the first one, which we'll get to a bit later on in this list. So, moving on, at number 10, it is Halloween Resurrection. Now, what the hell was going on with this one? I mean, it was so cheesy and funny. This is put down as a comedy slasher because, well, it had Busta Rhymes in it who kicked Michael's ass. And another thing that I think let this film down was Jamie Lee Curtis. She was only in the opening scene as Laurie Strode, and then she gets killed in the beginning. I'm sure I'm not giving anything away on that one because this film is 15 years old, and yeah, I just thought, this was the last film within the original franchise, and I think that's when they gave up on the whole thing, and why Rob Zombie remade it and that. Anyway, number 9, it is Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, the 6th installment of the series, where we find out that Michael's motivation is that he's driven by a curse that forces him to kill his entire bloodline, and that's basically his motivation, and he kills his niece, Laurie's daughter, his niece, Jamie Lloyd, in the opening scene, well, around the opening scene, but it's not even Danielle Harris either. And then he spends the rest of the film trying to kill his great nephew / son. And, we have a Paul Rudd in this. This had Paul Rudd in his first ever lead role in a film. Also, this was the last film that Donald Pleasence was in as Dr. Sam Loomis. And I don't think he got to see the finished product. Now, there's two versions of this. There's the theatrical cut and the producer's cut. The producer's cut is way better than the theatrical one, I think. Like Boogeyman Ben, he would agree with me on this because he said the same about it too. Next, coming in at number 8, we have Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Taking place 1 year after the events of Halloween 4, Michael is still trying to kill his niece Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris, and yeah, this is pretty much like the same kind of game of cat and mouse that we had in Halloween 4. It's just like, And what was with the Myers house? It looked completely different to the ones from the previous films. And in this one, Dr. Loomis just loses the plot and wants Michael dead at this point. The mask, yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that. Receded hairline and that. Yeah. This one just looked a bit rushed, and again, like I said, pretty much the same game of cat and mouse that we had in Halloween 4. Coming in at number 7, we got Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. 10 years after the first 2 films, Michael Myers is back, and this time he has a niece after Laurie Strode got killed in a car accident somewhere between the events of 2 and 4. And yeah, Michael was back, and what's with the mask? I mean, in this, the mask's completely different because the mask they had before, they didn't think they need that one anymore because of Halloween 3 and them planning to have it as an anthology series. Yeah, what was with that, Yeah, but yeah, Donald Pleasence, I think, saves this film with his performance as Dr. Loomis, and yeah, he was, good in this and still tried to defend Jamie from Michael. And, the ending, though, was a bit like, okay, so what? She's now inherited Michael's evil. And also, I thought the mental breakdown Dr. Loomis had at the bottom of the stairs, going, no, no. I look at that, I think that's kind of funny now. Yeah, but number 7 is Halloween for The Return of Michael Myers. Okay, number 6 is Halloween 2007, Rob Zombie's remake or reimagining of the franchise. This one, Rob Zombie kind of, gave Michael a backstory, an origin, to who he was and that, and as a little boy, and I thought, okay, this was good. I thought it was a decent remake. It wasn't too bad. It's 2 hours long. The first hour is a whole prequel with Michael as a kid, and the second hour, is just a redo of John Carpenter's Halloween. But yeah, I thought, I just thought, how could Michael grow from being a little kid to someone that's built like a brick shithouse, I mean, yeah, it was just a bit, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I thought this was okay. Malcolm McDowell was good as Dr. Loomis, but you can't replace Donald Pleasence. This also had Danielle Harris in it, this time playing Laurie's friend Annie, who survives this time and does not die like in the original. So yes. Number 6, Halloween 2007. Okay, top 5 now. So, at number 5 we have Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, this one is not connected to any of the other films in the original series whatsoever, because John Carpenter originally intended for this to be an anthology series, but after this caused a lot of uproar with people saying, "Where's Michael Myers?" They went back to the old stuff. They went back to the old template of it. But I think that this is a good film on its own. I mean, if you don't think of it as one of the Halloween films, then it's it's a good film. With the masks and the jack-o'-lantern, the skull, and the witch mask. Being with bits of Stonehenge in it that cause kids who watch this TV thing with their heads and turns to maggots and worms and that and snakes from looking at this flashing pumpkin on the screen, and the villain as well, Colonel Cochrane. He was a good villain for the film, and I mean, this it was not favoured at the time, but in the years it's had a cult following where people have grown to like it, and I do like this one, and it is a good film to watch on Halloween. And there are Halloween Easter eggs in there with Michael Myers, like on the small screen there's like an advertisement of the original Halloween, there's like a scene from the second Halloween in the films and that. Yeah, I think this is, a good film, and it's probably getting the appreciation it does now and that. So yeah, would a remake be good? Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing this film remade and being handled a bit better. Probably not called Halloween 3 though. Okay, so yeah. Next, at number 4, we have Halloween H2O 20 years later. So this is a semi-sequel, ignoring Halloween 4, 5 and 6, and is a sequel to Halloween 1 and 2, where Laurie Strode is now living under a different name. She has a son, played by Josh Hartnett, and this also has like a young Michelle Williams in it. Yeah, Michael comes back, and he's out on the kill. And one thing that I wonder, one plot hole I had is, how did he get from like Illinois to California? But yeah, other than that, I thought this was a good one. I mean, the ending was good as well, and I don't think they intended on doing any more, but Halloween Resurrection kind of like worked their way around that if you've seen it and you know what I mean. But yeah, the mask I thought was okay. There was one part where it was CGI'd, another part where the forehead was big. But yeah, it's okay. And this had a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it too. Yeah, as well. I thought this was okay. This was the first film I actually watched in the entire franchise. I'd never seen a Halloween film before. I knew of the series, but this was the first one I actually watched. And yeah, I wanted to watch all the others, so I did. So yeah, number 4, Halloween H2O. Okay, so at number 3 is Halloween 2, the original, 1981. Yeah, now, in previous lists, this has been the second runner-up, but, not now, and we will get to this shortly. But Halloween 2, following directly on from the first film, set on the same night. In fact, it's titled, the tagline is More of the Night He Came Home. I thought this was a great sequel, Michael was more badass, he was like, he did, one of my favourite kills was the hot tub kill, where he was drowning that nurse, but her face was also melting because he kept turning up the temperature. Also, the mask in this, I think it was the same mask, but of course the whiteness wore down a bit. This wasn't Nick Castle either, it was Dick Warlock, so it was slightly different. He had a different physique and that to Nick Castle, but other than that, I thought it was a good Michael, and Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis, they acted as if they carried on filming Halloween 1, and before this new one came out, I liked to have considered Halloween 1 and 2 as one big film, but now with this new film, this one also is no longer irrelevant or whatever. I mean, it's within the timeline. I like to think the timelines, there's the Jamie Lloyd timeline, which is 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6, the anthology timeline, which is Halloween 3, the Laurie Strode timeline, which is 1, 2, H2O and Resurrection, and the zombie timeline, which is the remakes of 1 and 2. And then there's this new one, the Old Man Myers timeline, which is the original, and this new one, which is at number 2, Halloween 2018. Now, I was surprised at how good this was. I thought it was brilliant. Bringing Nick Castle back as Michael, I mean, he had a stuntman called Jordan, I can't remember his name now. But yeah, I loved the hell out of this one. It was just, Michael broke out, he was, he was out on one mission to get Laurie and kill her, finish what he started all those years ago. And Laurie, she went all Sarah Connor on him. And I don't want to give too much away about this one because it is still new in cinemas and that, but this is a great sequel, and if you love the original, you will love this one. This was made for the die-hard fans of the original franchise. So yes, number 2, Halloween 2018. And yeah. But in this timeline as well, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers are no longer siblings, because that was revealed in the original Halloween 2. So, yeah, but still, I think it worked great. It was good, and I can't recommend it enough. Anyway, let's stop wasting time and get to number one. And of course, number one, you should know now, it is Halloween, the original, the best. Written and directed by John Carpenter and co-written by his wife at the time, Deborah Hill. This was just a low-budget indie film, and at the end of the day, all they wanted to do was make a film, and yeah, they did it. This was done on a tight budget. They were originally going to use a clown mask for this because they couldn't afford to make one or out till the props designer came back to John Carpenter with a Captain Kirk mask, and what they did was spray paint it white, darken the hair, mess it up, cut the eye holes bigger, rip the sideburns off, and the iconic Michael Myers mask was born. Nick Castle, Jamie Lee Curtis, and the great Donald Pleasence, giving us great performances. And at the time, Jamie Lee Curtis was a newcomer actress. She was just known back then as the daughter of Janet Leigh. But it was just meant to be an indie film, and this became a huge success and set things in motion for the slashers that were to come after, like The Virgin Survives, The Whore Dies, The Jock Dies, or like this, that and the other. They just gave us the cliches. I mean, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre gave us the final girl trope, but this one, Halloween, it just gave us everything else, that every other cliche we've come to know in the slasher films. So yes, that is why I think Halloween definitely has stood the test of time. In fact, it's been released on DVD and Blu-ray for its 40th anniversary, remastered in that, and on Blu-ray remastered into HD and that. And yeah, this film is just, without this one, there wouldn't have been the whole films that followed after. So that is why this is the best one, and it is at number one. So yes, that is it. And there you have it, the whole Halloween films ranked up in that order. Do you agree with that, my rankings? Like I said, let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you also be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. And all of my social media links, my Facebook group, Merchant Movies and TV Shows, my Twitter, Instagram are all linked down below in the description, so be sure to check all that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So like I said before, happy Halloween, and until next time, I bid you all a goodbye friends, goodbye.